Welcome back, Commander, to a rather chaotic scene.
Yes, right away, sir. Ready and waiting.
Now, I know what you're saying. Oh god, this is going poorly. I've got very few units. The last mission must have been a one-off, and this mission is terrible. It's not, actually. This is another nice surprise. I really enjoyed this level. So the goal is that you have to find the scientists and rescue them before they get blown up. Seems rather easy, maybe? Although it doesn't really look like that, considering what my forces are like right now. Alright, things are going kinda poorly right now. That's more my fault, though.
Yes, sir. Right away, sir. Reporting. Moving out. Yes, sir. Right away, sir. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Yes, sir.
Reinforcements have arrived.
Ready.
Captain
Yes, sir.
lost.
Not a problem. Reporting. Affirmative. Ready and waiting. Reporting.
So there's a mixture of things that happen in this level,
Ready and waiting. Yes, sir.
which I don't want to say is like particularly confusing, but it took me a couple tries before I realized exactly how things would play out.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Affirmative. Yes. Got it. Reporting.
And speaking of several tries, if you do happen to play this level yourself, again, this one I highly recommend. Much like the previous one, I should say. Important to save. The last one's kind of quick enough that, you know, as long as you don't make like a really bad play, you'll be fine. This one, you might want to think about like how you progress a little bit more.
Right away, sir. Moving out. Affirmative. Ready and waiting. Affirmative.
Now, I'm not entirely sure why there's destroyable fences at the end of that road. Probably just fluff,
Reporting.
which is nice, but it kind of threw me off once or twice. So the reason it took me a couple tries to play this level is absolutely not because I always got screwed over by that flame tank. More or less just because it's, I guess, more obtuse about how the game gives you reinforcements. The first appears to be timed, and I haven't checked the triggers and team types yet, but the first seems to be timed, I'd say probably about a minute or so. And then, well, what else do you do if you run out of these units? I don't know why these guys broke.
Reinforcements have arrived.
So yeah, clearing out the bottom portion seems to give us a medium tank, and only a medium tank. I mean, I wish I got more, but what else are you gonna do? Another thing that threw me off in this level was when you start, everything's kind of like perfectly framed. Like you're given the 4 points on the map, and for whatever reason I thought the map was way smaller than it actually is. So I never really like scrolled up or to the left, which is what I normally do. So next thing you know, I was like, oh, this has an entire like extra map stacked on top that I just never paid attention to for whatever reason. I don't really know who died in the background, but somebody clearly did. This is probably a good time to talk about it, because I don't think it's ever really come up in the videos. So when it comes to Tiberium, when Tiberium is shot, when the Tiberium like tile is shot, the Tiberium is destroyed and can no longer be collected by any source. And you must wait for Tiberium to either replenish itself by its growth rate, or if it's close enough to a blossom tree, to be produced from that. Now, while projectiles can destroy Tiberium on the ground, you can't actually force target Tiberium. The only thing I can think of is that the game does not allow you to do so because it would be considered gamey. Like, maybe you'd be able to just, like, use it to your advantage, like, to the player's advantage. But, yeah, it's just one of those things you can't do. So, I believe you could, under certain circumstances, that was pretty close.
Yes, sir. Reporting. Yes, sir.
Under normal circumstances, you could, I guess, take a inaccurate weapon, such as like the MRLS, and then force target a tile next to Tiberium, and then hope that it misses or like area of effect damage does enough to destroy it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Reporting. Right away, yes, sir.
I actually got really lucky that Humvee generated a soldier. Elsewise, I would have probably lost the medium tank as well.
Reinforcements have arrived.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Got it. Roger.
Again, I'm not quite sure what are the triggers to generate units. I'll be looking into it obviously later on, like way later on, once I get a couple more missions in or whatnot. But yeah, it's interesting to note, like, how things develop. Just because there's usually like no indication, it's just, did I trip a flag by entering those tiles? Or was it a timed thing? Or was it because I lost my previous Humvee? I mean, if it's in the event that I lost the Humvee, then I sure hope the same thing will happen to my medium tank. Because so far I'm not doing too well with it. Now, I will admit, considering how this map is currently playing out and how things are going, it's not immediately clear that there's no escape on the top left of the map. Technically, I could be going the complete wrong way. I'm also not quite sure why that civilian has decided to pick a fight. But fight he will, until he runs away. So when I said that there was no immediate or clear, like, direction, it's because I didn't scroll down. But it just goes to show that this game, I'm pretty sure later games will change this, but this game does not immediately tell you if there's a DZ that's opened up or if something has particularly changed that would be useful to the player. Oh, and I don't know why Nod gets these flint tanks, but enjoy, I guess.
Yes, sir. Reporting. You got it, man. Yes, sir.
Unit lost.
Yes, sir. Reporting. Yes, moving out.
Yeah, I was pretty sure I was going to lose those guys no matter what, so...
Got it. Affirmative. Man. Yes. Acknowledging out. Acknowledge. Moving out. Ready and waiting.
So with such a very limited unit composition, and the fact that most of my units are almost dead, it gets more and more important to like practice your baiting skills.
Ready and wait. Waiting or affirmative. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, affirmative.
It gets to be quite important when you have something like, say, a sentry tower, or not sentry tower, a guard tower, or a turret that you're trying to have units avoid.
Right away, sir. Reporting. Hello? Reporting. Acknowledge. Yes, sir.
I was also really worried that after the flame tanks had destroyed part or the entirety of the village up in the top left corner, they'd start coming after me.
Ready and wait.
So
Reporting. Yes, sir. Moving
at this point, it's more of let's just bum rush the landing site.
Not a problem. Yes, not a problem. Ready and waiting. Moving out. Affirmative. Hello? Yes, yes, you got it.
One thing that I'm looking at now is that like the flare disappears. That's actually really annoying. Like imagine if you like not looked at the bottom left for quite some time, and then next thing you know you don't know where the heck you gotta transport people.
Yes, reporting. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Yes, you got it.
For some reason, I was paranoid. I thought that like maybe by bringing some units over, there might be like some stealth tank that would just show up out of nowhere. But oh, hey, I actually forgot about that guy.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Lost.
Hello?
So there are 3 scientists on the edge of a cliff.
Command. Yes, 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 yes.
One gets in the chopper and well,
Mission accomplished.
Affirmative, sir. Yes, moving out. Yes, ready and wait. Ready and wait. Right away, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, affirmative. Affirmative. Reporting. Yes?
Nuclear warhead approaching. Your mission is a failure.